Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another instalment of Jono's Graveyard Jaunts. And today we're going to be talking about a man by the name of Daniel Lambert, who was Leicester's largest son. Daniel was born in his parents' house on Blue Ball Lane on the 13th of March 1770 in Leicester. And Daniel's family were in turn a bunch of gamekeepers, huntsmen and field sportsmen. Daniel himself became an expert in sporting animals. He was also a very keen horse rider, but due to his sheer size he had to ride a shire horse. And throughout Daniel's boyhood he was very fit, active, healthy and slim. He was considered an excellent swimmer, and from the age of 8 taught many children how to swim the River Soar. He was never a drinker and he was never a big eater either. At the age of 21, Daniel took over from his father as the keeper of Leicester's Bridewell prison in 1791, which was a prison essentially for minor offenders, and his salary was £21 per annum. The prison was opened in 1792 and subsequently closed in 1829. And this is a picture of Bridewell Prison, sketched by the renowned Leicester artist John Flower in 1830. The prison itself is in the centre of the screen with the two arches, so that's the building that we're looking at. Daniel was considered a kind jailer. He had huge compassion for the prisoners and made massive improvements to the welfare of the said prisoners. He was known to show kindness and compassion towards them, and as a result earned their respect. For example, the prison walls were whitewashed once a year, and the prisoners themselves were not allowed to lie on the floors, but they were provided with mats on cribs or bedsteads. And by the time Bridewell Prison had closed in 1805, Daniel was aged 35 years old and he weighed 50 stone, which is 700 pounds, about 320 kilograms. The prison was eventually pulled down in 1897. So this is the placard, guys. It's been erected on the left of the existing prison one. What we'll do is we'll just zoom in on it so you can read actually what it says. These are the remnants of the existing prison wall that Daniel Lambert would have worked in 1791. So this is really all that remains of the original prison from those days. Daniel was unemployed now and he had very little income. He was also extremely sensitive about his bulk and he became a recluse as a result. This led Daniel in 1806 to exhibit himself in exchange for money. So on the 4th of April 1806 he boarded a specially adapted carriage and travelled to his new home at 53 Piccadilly in London. And for 4 hours each day he welcomed visitors into his home and charged £1 for each person, which would be the equivalent of about £4.20 in today's money. And at these visits, at Daniel's behest, and in order to maintain an air of civility, men were asked to remove their hats before Daniel would engage with them. And in those days, obesity itself was not sneered at, and Daniel made a huge success and a lot of money out of this enterprise, with 400 visitors a day. He eventually grew tired, though, of being an exhibit, people gawping at him all day, and returned to Leicester in 1806 a very wealthy man. So this is formerly the Wagon and Horses pub in Stamford, Lincolnshire, and it's that building we can see with the 3 windows, middle, top and bottom. That defines essentially the building, and this is where Daniel Lambert came on the 21st of June 1809 and spent his last day on earth. He had breakfast and went up to his room shortly after 9 AM, started to shave and then felt unwell, and he subsequently passed out and died. And they had to physically dismantle the bottom right hand corner where the window is to remove his body. And there is a plaque that's on the right hand corner of the building, which I'm just going to pan in on and we'll go and have a look at. And this is the plaque on the outside of the Wagon and Horses, in memory of Daniel Lambert, who died here on the 21st of June 1809. We're actually just coming up to Daniel Lambert's grave now, which is in Stamford in Lincolnshire at St Mary Martin's Church, and it's just literally off the back of the High Street. Now, he was such a large man. He passed away at almost 53 stone, and in turn 112 feet of elm wood had to be used for his coffin, and it took 20 men with ropes to lower his coffin down a sloping ramp into his grave. And we're just coming up to Daniel Lambert's grave now. There is actually a plaque erected outside, just in front of the grave, and we can read that. And this is Daniel's gravestone, and it's got a great epitaph on it. And what we'll do, guys, is we'll just go up to it and then we'll try and read it. In remembrance of that prodigy in nature, Daniel Lambert. A native of Leicester, who possessed rather, of, and it's a really great epitaph this, an exalted and convivial mind, and in personal greatness. Had no competitor. That's a really nice epitaph. He measured 3 feet 1 inch around the leg, (9 feet 4 inches around the body, and weighed 52 stones 11 pounds. He departed this life on the 21st of June 1809, aged 39 years, and that is a great epitaph. So Daniel in life was obviously a very big man, but he had an even bigger heart. And whilst you may be gone, Daniel, you're certainly not forgotten. Rest in peace.